Hello and welcome to Busy Mum Homestead. It's Louise here and I'm so glad to have you back. This week I thought I'd do something a little bit different to what I've been doing in the last few weeks, and I thought I'd take you through a couple of the cookbooks that I really love and enjoy and that I have used so much. It's important to have some really good basic cookbooks, and when you find one, it's amazing because, so often we'll find a cookbook and there'll only be one or two recipes that we like from it, and the rest are not very good. And I don't know, I've found that. I don't know if you have as well. So I thought these ones I thought I would take you through. I have loved so much and I have used them so much, as you will see. I guess, yeah, when you're cooking from scratch, it's important to have some really good recipes that you use and books that you trust, because there is nothing worse, especially when you're low on resources, to cook something and have it not taste good. And that is just so disheartening and discouraging. Like, you feel like you've just wasted your ingredients, and there is nothing worse than that. We do not want that. Now, I will say that, sorry, I was just sneezing. I will say that there has, when I moved out of home, I grew up in a family, obviously, but I grew up in not the best of families. But anyway, I cooked dinner for my parents every single night since I was 10. I grew up having to cook them dinner every single night. I used to cook. My family were very particular, and it was usually like meat and 3 veg is what we cooked, especially growing up here in Australia. And that's all I really did. I wasn't allowed to experiment or cook a lot of different other things, and my parents definitely didn't do a lot of that. In fact, the meals that my father made, because they used to cook on the weekend, I actually thought were quite disgusting and I really didn't like them. And then I was very creative, and I still am very creative. And so sorry about the light in the mirror back there. I'm trying to block it. But so I used to like to cook cakes and do a lot of baking and things. And I used to make up recipes because my parents didn't have recipe books, and I didn't grow up, like, my grandmother cooked a lot, but she didn't cook a lot. Like, she used to cook a lot, so she could cook, but then by the time I came along, she kind of was in her 50s and going through menopause, and she didn't want to cook meals and dinners a lot. So I never really grew up with a lot of home cooking around us, and we definitely didn't get recipes handed down to us. So when I moved out of home, I really had to try and learn how to do things. And I used to ring my nan and say, how do you cook things? And she would tell me, but we never had that handwritten sort of notes. And so I was always buying recipe books, trying to find good ones. And I often found that I cooked a lot, but they just didn't work. So I grew as a cook more through my own experimentation than anything else. But I do have a couple of cookbooks that I absolutely love, and I thought I'd take you through those. So the first one, now hopefully I can link these. Hopefully they actually are still available. I don't know. I was going to start with this one. I might actually start with the other one first. So I found this cookbook quite a few years ago, and it's actually a great one because it has a lot of the basics in it, and it is the Woman's Weekly, The Country Table. Now, I used to be able to get a lot of, from the supermarkets, the little A5 cookbooks from like the Woman's Weekly and that, and I've bought quite a few of those over the years. But this one, The Country Table, is my all-time favorite cookbook. Well, actually, this one and the one I'm going to show you, but It has so many recipes in it that are great cooking from scratch. And I grew up in the central west of New South Wales, in Bathurst actually. And so this cookbook has a lot of like Safala pictures around Safala, if you know where that is. And so it feels very nostalgic for me. But I just love like the country vibe of the pictures in it. It's very Australian, and I just, I just opened up chicken and vegetable soup right at the back, but it has scones and, I've used this recipe so many times. I know people probably just know how to cook corned beef, but I did not know how to cook corned beef when I left home, and it was something I really loved, and my parents didn't love corned beef, so they didn't cook it a lot. I've had it a few times at my nan's, but I loved corned beef, and so I didn't really know how to cook it. And this book has it in it, and it has an historic building from Safala in it, which I just love. But this corned beef recipe, that's how I learnt how to cook corned beef, and I used it time and time and time again. Like, look at the country views. Like, that is the central west of New South Wales, if ever I saw it, and it's just so beautiful. So it's got great, oh no, that's from Glen Innes, it says, which is also beautiful. I also grew up in the northwest of New South Wales, so it's really something that, it's very nostalgic and very Australian. So they've got a quiche Lorraine recipe in here. I'm just going through this book right now. Like, it's even got grilled pork sausages with relish. So if you don't even know how to cook the basics, it shows you. So it's got basic scones, pumpkin scones, which, I love pumpkin scones. Oh, sorry. I just moved you. But, I didn't know how to cook them. What else has it got? Oh, Monte Carlo biscuits. I'm not going to go through every recipe, obviously. Oh, but, like, I've made these so many times. Jam drops and ginger nuts. Like, who doesn't know how to make them? They are so nostalgic as an Australian for afternoon tea, right? Chocolate chip cookies. I think Logan wanted me to show you this. He made these, and they're the best recipe we have ever had of chocolate chip cookies. He made them better than I do. There's shortbread, rock cakes. Like, who makes rock cakes anymore? My grandfather used to make rock cakes. He made the best rock cakes, and he also made the best scones. He really did. I miss my grandfather's scones. He made them so well every time. And this book even has, which I have made, honey jumbles. This recipe turned out so good. I made it when I went to a meeting when my first daughter was a baby, and I made them to take, and they turned out so good. Because I've never made them, but I had them, you buy them in packets, so you used to be able to here. And it's even got pikelets, vanilla kisses, Anzac biscuit recipe. And it's a good Anzac biscuit recipe as well. There are so many Anzac biscuit recipes, but I love this one. It's got banana and cinnamon, cheese corn and bacon muffins, berry muffins. It even has scrambled eggs, zucchini and mushroom omelette. So it takes you through all of those, and then it also has in the back like beef stew with parsley dumplings, shepherd's pie recipe. What else is there? Cinnamon tea cake. Oh, I've made this one so many times for afternoon tea for my kids when they were coming home from school. And I whipped this in the oven, and I would make that for them as they were getting home. I loved it. There's tuna mornay, salmon and potato patties. There's lamb shank and vegetable soup, minestrone. That cinnamon tea cake. There's Leamington recipe. I haven't made these ones personally. I used to make them a long time ago, but do you agree you've got to have Leamingtons with cream in the middle? And there's even like patty cakes with glacé icing. Just a simple patty cake recipe. Like, there are so many things online you go to look for and you can't find them online. It's got hummingbird cake. Oh, I love hummingbird cake. If you ever go through Narrabri, stop in at Watson's Bakery. They made the best hummingbird cake ever. And then I've made this 100 times too, the raspberry coconut slice. That was my paternal grandmother's favorite, and I remember her making it. And I have this recipe now in this book, which I never had. It's also got hedgehog slice. Oh, I have made this too. The old-fashioned apple pie with a passion fruit icing. I've made that. There's date slice, tangy lemon squares. There's also in here, I'm trying to find it. I haven't found it yet. There's beef and vegetable pie. It even tells you how to do a roast chicken. Like, so this cookbook is amazing for beginners. Oh, and I've used this quite a few times too. The pork leg roast. Because I wasn't sure how to cook those things when I first started out. It was really, and I've made this too. There's even the lemon meringue pie I've made in here. There's an old pay slip in there, which I won't open up. Yeah, and then in the back, like, there's all of that, and then there is like spicy tomato chutney, spicy mustard pickles, apple jelly, quince jelly, dark plum jam, which I have used that recipe. There's spiced fig apple jam, apricot and apple jam, strawberry conserve, citrus marmalade, which I always meant to try and make for my nan. Marmalade was Nan's favorite jam, and I never made it. And then I found a local Tassie one, and she absolutely loved it, so I sent that to her for her to have. There's grapefruit and ginger marmalade. There's peach and passion fruit jam. There's chocolate self-saucing pudding and baked custard at the end. So yeah, this one by the Australian Woman's Weekly, The Country Table, is, yeah, and the pikelets I have made so many times for the kids for afternoon tea coming home from school. This book, like, I've kept the cover on it. It's actually in better condition than the next one I'm going to show you, but I have used it over and over and over again, and I love it. Like, if you can find this book, especially if you've got someone that's leaving home, it's just got all the basic recipes in it and the traditional Australian recipes in it that we grew up knowing and that we love. And I find, yeah, online now, it's so hard to come across these original recipes. They have been doctored and, you know, made different, so they're all different. And so someone has something like, you know, special, so you will buy theirs. But sometimes you just want the good old-fashioned traditional recipe, and that's what this book is great for, and I absolutely love it. So I highly, highly recommend this book, especially for us Aussies that grew up, you know, that are, well, I'm a Zennial, I suppose you would say. So yeah, this is my childhood, and then I grew up as a young mum making these for my kids every afternoon for after school and for myself, and I love that book. It just has all the basic stuff in it. And then my second one, which I'm not sure if you can get around either, but if you can, I would highly recommend, is the Country Show Cookbook. And I just opened it up to the recipe I have made the most. So it's obviously well worn, and it's the chocolate mud recipe. I have used this recipe, and it comes from Leanne Tett at Cabargo Show. So what I love about this book is it's actual people's recipes from around Australia entered into the country shows, and they are then published, a selection of them are then published in this book. And I think there's actually quite a few cookbooks, the country show cookbook, and I'll try and link this exact one if I can find it. So what I love is that these recipes are from actual Australians, actual women around Australia that have made, you know, probably this recipe 1,000 times over and entered it into the show. And now it's in a cookbook that I get to make from. Because like I said, I didn't grow up with a lot of recipes handed down. And my mum definitely did not ever cook much. So I loved to cook, and I just feel like it's a warm hug looking into these books and getting these recipes from these women. And I just, if you know Leanne Tett from Cabargo or around that area, can you give her a massive shout out? Because honestly, I have made her chocolate mud cake recipe for every birthday and every special occasion that we have had, and even like going to a party and I need to take something, or we take a plate, I have often taken this recipe and I make it in a big square tin. So I'll often double the recipe and then I'll put it in the square tin and take it to where we're going, and I love it. It works every single time. It's a beautiful, beautiful cake, and yeah, I really love it. It's so good. It's my favorite. And like I said, I just opened the book and it opened up to this page. It just shows how many times I have made it. There are so many good cakes in here, but another one that I have used so much and made so much is the banana cake recipe. I use this one all the time, and this one is from Sue Fisher at Grafton. So hello, Sue Fisher from Grafton, if you are ever watching my video, because I have made your banana cake so many times. So thank you so much for your recipe. I love it. Yeah, and so there is so many great recipes. This apple cake one from Nellie McIntyre at Tumbarumba Show. I have made your apple cake too, and it is absolutely delicious and I love it. Thank you so much for your recipe. There's so many things. Yeah, there's also basic pikelets, sweet sultana scones, date scones, pumpkin scones, easy scones. Like all the scones you could ever watch. Barradine. Hello, Clive Taylor from Barradine. I have never made your easy scones, but I know where Barradine is because I used to live in Narrabri. So, so yeah, hello. And there's coconut cookies. I think I have made these. Phil Fisher from Kiama. Hello. I have made your coconut cookies and they were delicious. What else have I made? Oh, there's fig jam, ginger jam, mayonnaise, apricot chutney, sweet mustard pickles. I haven't made any of those. There's macadamia shortcake slice, licorice all-salt slice. I don't like licorice all-salts, but my mum does. Cheesecake slice, shortbread, chocolate chip cookie biscuits. Oh no, maybe these ones were the one Logan made, from Diane Blanche at Kangaroo Valley Show. My son made these and oh my god, they were the best ones we've ever had, and he made them so well. So thank you, Diane. There's Anzac biscuits, brown butter, there's passion fruit delicious, boiled plum pudding, which I intend on making. I love boiled plum puddings, but I've never got to doing that. I'm trying to find, there's someone from Glen Innes, another Grafton. There's Lamingtons there from Warielda, from Norma. Hello. Rock cakes again. From Morissette, Helen Wharton. I've got family down that way too, so hello to you. Orange cake, rainbow cake. I'm trying to find one particular recipe because it's a special one and I haven't actually made it. There's quite a lot from Glen Innes, so must be, I know why, because it's cold up there, so people cook. I'm trying to find, there's a sponge cake. Oh, I might pause this. I'm going to find it. Okay, I found it. This is what makes this cookbook even more special for me. So I bought this cookbook and I was looking through all the recipes and I came across this one, and it's a cooked coconut slice. And the most special thing is that it is made by a lady called Tottie Pownell, and it's from the Narrabri show. And I grew up in Narrabri in high school, and one of my friends that I went to school with, Tracy, this is her grandmother. So I didn't know anything, and I saw Tottie Pownell Narrabri and I thought, oh, I wonder if she's related to Tracy. And then yeah, Tracy said it's a grandmother, so I have her grandmother's recipe, one of, in this cookbook. And so this makes it so special for me, even though I don't overly love coconut, and I haven't tried this recipe yet, which I probably shouldn't say. But it's the fact that this is why I love this book so much, because the recipes, one, are tried and tested. They're not just something that someone's thrown together to make some money off, you know what I mean? And they don't actually taste that good, or someone's tried to outdo other chefs. These are tried and tested recipes by families, and they've been entered into shows, and they're the pride of the family and the cook. They are something that they are so proud of, and they put it into the show, and then they agreed so wonderfully to have it put in a book so people like me could come along and make their recipe as well. And I don't know whether these cooks ever got any money from these books. I hope that they do, because to me, they have given me so much, like so much joy and so much comfort knowing that these are real people in our community in Australia that have entered these recipes into this book, and then I get pleasure making them, and I have made so many out of this book. So these two books are, and I'm not lying, they are the books I go to time and time again, and I know every single recipe will work in there. And what I love is there's a variety. So this one's mostly sweet stuff, but then there's all like chutneys and relish and jams and things at the back as well. So as a from scratch cook, it's amazing, because then you can learn how to make things in your home kitchen from scratch, and you know the recipe is going to work because these are tried and tested recipes that people are so proud of. And that's why I love this book, because and the pavlova, I've made that too so many times. Like, I make so many recipes out of these books because I know they'll work and I know they taste good. And I know also that they're easy. They've got recipes like that you have every day in your cupboard. So that's why I love these two books, and they are the only two books that I really use. Occasionally I'll go online and find something else if I need to. And that's where these kind of books come in. So these are notebooks that I've filled from recipes that I've clipped over the years, or I've handwritten from people that have given me recipes, or I've been told. So, like, for example, here I've written things on it. So these books are well loved as well. but I can't actually tell you that they're a book because they're just a collection of all the recipes that I have used over time and I've loved, and then I print them out or write them out and stick them in these books. But these two are the ones that I would recommend, if you can get them, to get, especially if you've got like a daughter or a son moving out of home and they love to bake and cook, or they want to learn how to bake and cook. These books, especially if they're Australian, because this will be to the Australian flavour of traditional cooks and what we grew up with being able to buy in shops and things like that. So yeah, I'll try and link them below. What I'm going to try and do for my kids is just take all of my recipes that I have developed over the years, or that have been handed down, or that I've gotten off friends or whatever. And my idea is trying to condense them for my kids and then give them the basics to take with them in a notebook. So that's a lot of work that I've got to go through and do that I haven't yet done. But honestly, if I could only have 2 cookbooks, it would be these 2 cookbooks. I have others, but I really don't use them. The only ones I use are these 2 and my handwritten ones that I have made up from heaps of different recipes, and that's it. So yeah, I'm not sure. Do you feel the same? Do you have these cookbooks? I would highly recommend going and getting them. They're great from scratch cookbooks. They are so worth the money. Yeah, I use them time and time again. If I was going out now as a person, I'm not sure that I would buy this one maybe as much, because it's like got a lot more basic stuff, but then I probably would. I make things from it still. But I definitely would get that Country Show cookbook 1,000 times over. Those 2 are my go-tos, but especially the Country Show cookbook. That is my go-to for every single thing that I make. And I just love, and a big shout out to all the people that contributed to that book that I have not mentioned, and even the ones I have, because it's an amazing cookbook and it is by far my favorite and most used and treasured cookbook. So with that, I'm going to leave that for this week. Thank you for being here so much. Let me know what your favorite cookbooks are, and if you've tried these ones, would love to find out what you also use. I know this is probably more geared to Australians in this one because these are our recipes, but I think we need to celebrate these Australian books and this Australian way of eating and traditional way of eating and the things that we've grown up on. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Do you have the same, and would you try them, or what's your favorite? And yeah, I look forward to seeing you next week, and thank you for being here, guys. I can't wait. And yeah, thanks so much. Bye.